everyone, Dr. Shelvin here from Artistic Dental Studio with another dose of dental tips of the week for you. And today I'm going to cover a very important topic. This is a topic that actually people as patients are not really aware of, and you can put the blame on us as dentists because we are the people who need to give you a heads up about this. That's very important. So let me dive in. First of all, it's about people who have root canal treatment done, especially on back teeth. All right. Over the last 25 years, I've had many patients who have come to my clinic and asked for this type of treatment, and those were the people who were business people. You know, they were on like very tight schedule and they just wanted to get out of pain as quickly as possible, do the root canal treatment, and then hop on their next flight. And this is where the problem begins because you know, this thing as the fracture of back teeth after root canal treatment could happen as early as 1 or 2 weeks after the root canal treatment. And I've seen many cases in which I have told them, I have warned them that they better have at least some form of protection on their tooth before going away, but they rejected for any given reason because they were too busy, they could not stay anymore, and then they went on that business trip, then got back, gave me a call, and then they said, we are really disappointed, the tooth is broken. So this has happened to me several times, and the reason why this thing happens is the subject of today's video. So let me go through this in detail. As usual, my old school whiteboard is here, and I'm going to show you what happens first of all during the root canal treatment, just as a recap, because I've had this video done previously about root canal treatment. You should know about that, but let me just recap first. When we do the root canal treatment on a tooth, normally the reason why we do the root canal treatment is because the tooth is either like decayed or the infection has gone inside the tooth from around the gum or wherever. So there is an infection in the tooth and we need to take out the nerve from within the tooth. And what we basically do is to remove the nerve from within the tooth. What we're losing here is that nerve inside the tooth is not for sensory function, for like when you like feel the pain or something like that. Okay, that's the function of the nerve. But there is a more important function to the nerve as well that you may not be aware of, and that's it. Nerves send some impulses to the brain from within the tooth. And whenever the tooth is overloaded for any given reason, these impulses from the tooth to the brain triggers the brain to send some impulses to the muscles, and then brain programs the muscles in a way that that tooth is not getting overloaded. The brain programs the muscles in a way that they're not contracted or contract in a way that this tooth is safe now. Now with the root canal treatment, we remove the nerve inside and we lose this protective mechanism. This is one of the reasons why the tooth that have undergone root canal treatment break after a while. The second thing is that when we do the root canal treatment, we do not just remove the nerve from within the tooth. Nerves and blood vessels are like a bundle into the tooth. So when we remove the nerves, we remove the blood vessels as well. Blood vessels are responsible for nutrition and hydration of the teeth. So when we remove the blood vessels, the teeth get dry and dehydrated. And as a consequence, it is something like a tree branch, a green tree branch, and a dried out tree branch. And you can compare these two. You can easily bend the green one, and it's not possible to bend that dry one. It definitely snaps. So this is the problem that happens after root canal treatment as well. So you can see the combination of these two factors, nerves and blood vessels, could make the tooth very, very vulnerable to fracture. Now there are some other factors as well. For example, I told you it's more pronounced, this problem is more pronounced in back teeth. The problem is that the back teeth have a divided shape. They have some cusps on them. They are designed in a way to crush the food. And normally, we do incising with our front teeth and crushing with our back ones, grinding with our back ones. This is why back teeth are more vulnerable, because they are subjected to greater forces. And the last factor that could contribute to back teeth fracture after root canal treatment is something like more technical. We have a ratio in dentistry called width to length ratio. Whenever we do root canal treatment, we have to create a relatively large opening in the center of the tooth. As we create this opening, you can see the thickness of the walls around diminish. So the ratio between the width and the length, this is a thing that has to be as more as possible. That's very important. And if it goes down 0.5, that's the critical spot. That's the critical spot, because you know the length is twice the width. So this wall could easily flex, and because the tooth is not that flexible, it could easily snap. So if we see the tooth from the top, we can see this is the large opening we normally create when we do the root canal treatment, and these are the remaining walls all around, and as you can see, the walls are quite thin, so they can easily snap. Now there's a question. I have had this discussion with some of my patients, and some of them said, okay, so if the tooth is quite vulnerable to fracture, we better wait until if a part chips or something, or we see anything is going wrong, then we can come to you and then you can protect our teeth, or do something on the top, or I don't know, whatever. And then I say, well, I wish that was the case, because in many cases it's not just a simple quick chip, something that is confined to the crown. In many cases, this line of fracture goes underneath the gum level. If such a thing happens, then it's very, very hard to save the tooth, if not impossible. So you can imagine, you were very keen to save the tooth. You went to your dentist, you had this root canal treatment done. Root canal treatment is like 3 sessions, is quite costly, and now your tooth is quite stable, you're very happy with it, and suddenly a crack, something snaps off. You go to your dentist and dentist says you have to take the tooth out. How disappointing is that? So this is a thing that you need to be very careful about. Always have a chat with your dentist. If you have any root canal treated back teeth, get them protected. Now how? The protection of a root canal treated tooth is something really, really simple. We can pop a crown on top of the tooth. Because crown covers the whole perimeter of the tooth, it holds the tooth together, never allow it to split. And this thing could be done in an hour session. Nowadays, with digital systems, it could be easily done. We can provide you with a crown in an hour. Or, at least, if we are not doing digitally, we can easily put a temporary crown made of plastic on the tooth, and it takes just an hour. After finishing the root canal treatment, we can just pop a temporary crown on the top, and if anything happens, it will most probably happen to the temporary crown, not the tooth underneath. So if a temporary crown snaps or breaks, no worries. At least it could protect your tooth for the time being. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video because that was a very, very important issue. I've seen many cases coming back with perfect looking root canal treated teeth, and they have to take the teeth out, and that's really painful. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and please tune in for our next week's video. That's a very exciting one about gum recession. Please tag somebody whom you think could benefit from this video, and like us and share this video with your family members. Thank you so much, and goodbye.